Hi, I'm here with Wynford Jones, one of our BA in Applied Theology students who's just completed his 3-year degree as a context student on the Church Leadership track. And you've just been awarded a first-class honours, Wynford, so first of all, congratulations for that.
Thanks a lot. It's a shock, but yeah, it was hard work, was worth it, yeah.
Absolutely. So this time 3 years ago, you'd have been just about to start as one of our first students on our brand new method of delivery as a context student. So just tell me briefly why you decided to study at Regents.
Well, this time 3 years ago, I'd been made redundant from a bank I'd worked at for 38 years. And for the last few years, I'd been sort of had that desire in me. I wanted to study the Bible more, and I didn't know whether it was just my own sort of personal ambition or whether it was something that God was giving me. But I found comfort from Psalm 37, which says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you your heart's desires. And I thought, well, he's put this desire in me, so I've got to go for it, you know. So I had that desire, but my son also had graduated in 2015, my son Sam, and at Regents. And what I was impressed with is the fact that they always implied on him not to be in competition with anybody else, but just to do the best that he could possibly do. And that really stuck with me. And I thought, yeah, that's a really good college to go to. And then I discovered the flexibility. Ben from my church was studying, and he told me of the context learning. And the flexibility of studying by context. It was ideal for me because I could stay, continue to work in my church on Message Church and preaching, and then just go up for lecture week once every 5 weeks. So it was ideal for me. Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So the flexibility meant that you were able to consider doing that as a program. But how did you feel coming into degree study, perhaps not having studied for some considerable time?
I was a little apprehensive to start with, to be honest. It probably would have been about 30 years before that I studied last. I only did a Beck National Certificate in Business Studies, that's all. But it was a sort of A-level standard. But I was a bit apprehensive, I must admit. And for the first couple of essays, I was thinking, oh, I've got to make sure the grammar and the expression is right. But it all worked out. It's like riding a bike, I suppose. You get back on and it just comes naturally then. So, yeah, it worked out fine. Yeah. What I didn't really have much experience with was footnoting and bibliography. So I had to be put right on that, but there's plenty of guidance. And I found the portal, the self-help guide on the portal was brilliant, especially because I was context-based and not up there all the time. I could just go to the portal and look at research, how to structure a research paper, how to get sources and how to use the sources. It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Excellent. So you found that support really helpful, especially with our online portal, our sort of website repository, which is great.
Yeah.
And obviously got the hang of it very quickly, getting those degree results that you did.
Yeah, so, the portal was great. Yeah.
So tell us, Wynford, you're now at the end of the 3-year programme with a first class honours degree, but how has study at Regents helped you, and what are you doing differently now as a result in terms of kind of life and ministry in its fullest sense?
Yeah. Well, looking at the ministry first, the good thing about the studying at Regents, it gave me an opportunity to look at different ministries, really. For 3 years running, I did a church placement, and they're brilliant. You can review your ministry, what you're doing, and you can really analyze the content and your delivery methods and see what you're naturally gifted at. And for 3 years, it allowed me to grow and sort of direct where I thought God was going. And for me, I want to be looking for a pastoral role now, probably in chaplaincy. I did my last church placement on a healthcare environment in the Heath Hospital in Cardiff, and I spent a month working with the chaplaincy team down there. Absolutely loved it. I said to them, I'd love to do this job, even if I wasn't getting paid to do this job. And that's a good sign, really, isn't it? If you want to pursue something that your heart is in. And it gave me the opportunity to look at those different ministries, and it was perfect, really. It's given me confidence as well. You become an independent learner, and you know, no matter what you're going to be encountering in ministry with the church or in the community, you can study it and you can really get your head around it because you've got that confidence that you can study in depth. Yeah. So that's in life. To be honest, it's transformed me really. You get to rely on God. You have to, no matter how far you go out of your comfort zone, and I can assure you do go out of your comfort zone as you're studying your theology degree. But no matter how far you go out of the boat, you know God is there with you, and it's such a confidence. You know you can plan something, and you know that God is going to turn up, and it's given me such confidence in that. So yeah, it's helped ministry-wise and just generally in life. Yeah.
And that's been really evident to us as staff as well, because obviously one of the things that you did as part of your degree was doing a placement, and you did that in your home church setting with your current church pastor, and his comments on how much he'd seen you grow, you know, with even not living on site but still staying in your home setting, studying and ministering within your home church. And it was really encouraging to see how much he identified how much you'd grown. And so it's just great, isn't it, that you can do that method of study without having to necessarily up sticks and move to another part of the country or go to a different church.
The whole process did develop that, yeah.
So forgive me for saying this, Wynford, you're not perhaps in your 20s, 30s, but more mature in life. What would you say to someone who's perhaps in a similar boat to yourself, a little bit later on in years, who might be thinking, actually, this study thing's passed me by, I've got no chance, it's been a long time since I've been in school or college. What would you say to them about further study?
Well, I'm 60 now, graduating, so I would say it's never too late. Just go for it, to be honest. If God has given you a desire to study, go for it, because I think, in a way, maturity helps. There's so many other distractions as a 18 or 20-year-old that you don't get in maturity, and I find when I was that age, I was so full of energy, I couldn't sit down for long and study, but you know, you can do that more as you're more mature. So it does help. There's less distractions. If I can do it, anyone can. I've left school. I consider myself a Mr. Average, really. Not many went to universities unless they were going to be a doctor or a teacher. I left school with 4 O-levels, English, Maths, History and Art. And I played the violin, so I had grade 5 in violin. And that was it. Spent 38 years in a bank. And if I can do that, go and get a first-class degree, anyone can, I can assure you, if you've got a desire. What really, I suppose the scenario with me was I needed to get going. The scenario of a boat where you can move the rudder as much as you like, but if it's not going, you can't direct it. But once I started studying and trying different ministries and got going, then the direction could be given from God as to where I should be going. And I think that, you know, once you start, you can be directed, and God will do that.
Well, it's been great to hear from you, Wynford. Congratulations again. It's been a real honour to have you as part of the first cohort of Context students on our new mode of delivery. So we wish you all the best for the future, and do stay in touch. God bless.
All the best. Thank you.